My question to you is that in the last 30 days, what have you done? In the last 30 days, what have you done to demonstrate confidence in yourself and in your skills? It's not about, if I say I'm confident, I'm confident. The actions also need to align so that you don't feel the disconnect. It's like some people, right? They will say, I focus on personal growth. But at the same time, everything that they talk about is like, cannot, oh, I'm scared. It's not about just what you say, right? Like, what are you acting and doing, right? Action over words. A lot of people look at my career and they think that, oh, maybe, you climb the career ladder, it seems so easy and you could like easily move from the professional services to banking, and you move from a small company to a big company. But actually what they don't see, and if I actually were to think back about my entire career journey, I think the word that I always focus on is courage. So let me share some examples with you. I'm not sure if I shared any of these stories before. Now, when I graduated, right, I worked in a very small company, and I think I was only paid like $300 for 1 month. So I worked in a very small company, and in 2008, and when the economy improved in 2010, right, I actually applied for like multiple companies, and one of the companies I applied for was in Singapore. And during that time, I actually already got the job offer in KL, and literally I was like 2 days away from signing the job offer in KL. However, during the 2 days, I actually got an interview request from Singapore, who basically, I got a call and they said that, hey, do you want to come for the interview? Can you come tomorrow? So at that time, I have not been to Singapore before. I was in Penang, Malaysia, and I've also never traveled alone. I've never traveled in a plane alone before. I have no idea, right? Like the Singapore CBD area and like where's Raffles Place, I have like no idea. But when I got the call, right, they said that, hey, do you want to come for an interview tomorrow? It's going to be at like 2:00. And it was like the day before in the morning. So I decided that I'm just going to go. Even though I didn't have a plan and anything else, but the thing that I actually had in my mind was more like, it's like the 10 seconds of courage. Like if I have the opportunity already and what's stopping me is all this overthinking, right? Then will I regret that opportunity because I didn't try? Not because I wasn't good enough to get in, but it's because I didn't get it because I didn't try. Like when I thought about it, I'm like, this is stupid, right? I should just do it. So I booked the flight, and literally the next day I flew to Singapore. I did the interview, and obviously I got the job. So this is a demonstration of, it's not the talk, it's about how do you feel and can you actually take action based on that. Then after that, when I joined this company, I had to start as a fresh graduate, which is very irritating given that I've already worked for about a year already. And I started as a fresh graduate, but I had to serve like 18 months before the next promotion cycle, where everyone else to come in, right, they only need to work for 9 months. So obviously it was a bit annoying. So for the first few months, I felt a lot of negative talk. It's like, hey, actually I have more experience. How come, I need to be working more months? How come I need to start from the ground level, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, there's a lot of like negative stuff. But later, I sort of like looked at the situation. So the one word I chose was actually competence. And when I chose the one word, I decided that, you know what, actually the fact that I've already worked before and I've been here longer, it actually makes me more competent compared to the other people around me. So of course I can't change my situation. I can't change how the company promotes people and the cycle and stuff like that, but I can change the focus and how I see my situation. So the word that I chose at that time was competence. So I started focusing on doing better and, communicating better with like the managers, the team leaders, and so forth. So that year and the subsequent years I was in Ernst & Young, I was the top performer. It wasn't because, the fact that I was there longer, because obviously if you've been at a certain place for a very long time, it's very easy to be very unhappy. But I think it was that like mindset reset and that one word that also reminds me that like, yeah, I'm not bad because I didn't get promoted. It's just a cycle that I cannot change. But at the same time, I'm working on my competence, and it's my competence that makes the difference between me and everyone else in my batch, which was like, I think there were like 30, 35 people at that time throughout my career as well. So it's always picking that one word, but actually committing to it for maybe 3 months or maybe up to a year, if that's really what you focus on. And to me, that's something that helped me, because sometimes, right, when we think about like mindset reset, it's like, wow, I need to come out with like all this motivational stuff, or like you find yourself binging on like a lot of like motivational videos or like content, I actually think it's very confusing, because once you depend on motivational videos, right? Like how I see it's more like, if you depend on those, right, it kind of like, it's like an addiction. You need to go and watch the motivational video, and then you feel, oh, okay, I feel better. But you're not really feeling better because you haven't done anything about it yet. Okay. So I think that one word, like actually choosing that one word, is really, really important. So whatever the one word that you have willingly shared in the chat box, or maybe you have just written it down on your notebook, I hope that you use it as like your motto in the next 3 months and in the next 12 months as well. And I think this is something definitely we'll do a bit of a follow-up in our monthly mentoring calls, because I think 3 months is usually enough time to actually see the change and to see the fruits of the effort that you put in. Because the day that you do the thing is not the day that you get the results, right? Especially with like skills development and like corporate workplace, usually the one word really helps. Now, it's not so much about telling everyone what you want, but it's about, are you focusing on getting what you want and actually seeing that progress, whether it's like growing in terms of like your courage or confidence or like competence or self-belief, every step along the way. You should be feeling better now as compared to when you first joined the program, or as compared to the like 12 months ago, like three years ago. We should be always be in a much better place now than before.